All right, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Welcome to another episode of the Prolific Perspective Podcast. Today I have two special guests. I have the founder of King's Care brand as well as Vibe Social. And I am going to formally introduce my guests today. I have Brother Waldo and his queen, Tareva.
Yes.
Tareva.
Filthy.
Right. Joining me on the pod tonight, man, and we want to talk about just celebrating melanin and melanated people in the melanated community and being people who contribute and try to make power moves, that are making power moves in the community, especially here in the Tampa Bay area. So I want to formally introduce y'all and let y'all know, I appreciate y'all taking the time, to jump on the pod with me to chop it up and talk about vibes and King Cares and all things melanated and all things business and all things Black.
All right, I love that.
Yes. Appreciate you having us.
Thank you so much.
Likewise, appreciate you. So let's get into your entrepreneurship journeys. Like let's get into that before we get into like the products. Like kind of what brought you into entrepreneurship and business ownership? Like how did y'all get into that
first? So I think that I was pretty much born into entrepreneurship. My dad was an entrepreneur. And I always thought that it was pretty cool, but when I got out of school, I just took the corporate route. I did kind of start with entrepreneurship because I bought a house. So when I bought my first house, I knew that that was my starter house and I was going to make it like a rental property. But while I was still on my corporate journey, I got into a little bit of trouble. So since I got in trouble, I knew I wasn't going to be able to stay in the career path that I was in. Mm-hmm. So I took that chance to just go ahead and go to barber school. And I always thought that female barbers were cool. I had a teacher in high school that was a female barber. My dad had a female barber. So I just went on ahead and did that. And I love it. It's dope. It is, but that's been 10 years, almost 10 years ago. So, and here we are. So a lot of people always say, oh, I love the fact that you grind and all of this. I kind of grind because I don't have a choice because my skill set is I can't get employed doing that anymore. So I got to get out the mud. But I love what I do. I'm happy that I was forced to. Because if I wasn't, I know I probably would still be trying to climb that corporate ladder. And I know I'm not meant to be there.
Right. I know that's right. That's what's up. What about you, Brother Waldo?
Yeah. So with me, it was kind of forced on me. I never really looked at myself as an entrepreneur or looked at the entrepreneur route as far as making money. I never saw myself as an entrepreneur. I always saw myself getting a job, working my way up the corporate ladder, and being able to move up like within an organization or a company or something like that. So it was 2008 when the recession hit. I was working at a plant making car batteries. So the car industry got hit hard. They got hit hard. So it was a bunch of layoffs. Did a bunch of layoffs, and when they laid me off, I really ain't know what I wanted to do. And my cousin was like, man, I'm about to go to barber school. So he ended up going to barber. He was like, man, you might as well come too. Cause I always cut my own hair. So he was like, man, you might as well come too. And I started doing that. Once I became a barber, it was like, eye-opening to me as far as entrepreneurship, being my own boss, being able to, make my own schedule and all of that. So it was kind of forced on me, but that was just the beginning of a journey. So
that's what's up. Yeah, I think that's what happens with a lot of us, to be honest. I think we think we got a path that we created in our head and our mind what we're gonna do, but then the creative like, nah, we're gonna hold up on that and you're gonna go this way. I think that's kind of how I got in like speaking and all that stuff because of the same thing. I thought I had to figure it out, and then life kind of happened. Like life was out here lifing, life was out there lifing, man. I found myself in a position I never thought I would be in, and then I had to kind of rebuild and restart from scratch, and then that's kind of how I got into what I do now. But that's what's up, man. So let's talk about the King's Care. Like how did the whole creation of King's Care come about? First of all, I like the name of it, but then how did it come about as a brand?
Thank you. So I knew I just wanted to do something for once to be able to make more money behind the chair. Because, you know, of course, cutting hair, I know I can't do that. I can't pass that on to my kids. And I wanted to be able to be doing something that could build generational wealth. So kind of thought about it. And then as I look at my clients, I'm like, y'all do not take care of y'all hair. Y'all just use anything on your head. Like, and I think a lot of men just, well, isn't think, a lot of men just grab whatever they can wash their hair with. Like, I was asking my clients, like, what you wash your hair with? A lot of them would say, whatever my girl get me, or whatever was under the sink, or I just grabbed something out the store. So I realized that there wasn't a lot of brands that were luxury and specifically made for Black men.
Hmm.
There are a lot of brands out there, but there isn't anything that's just tailored for our hair. So I wanted to make sure that I had a brand that was of luxury
Mhm.
and for you all to be able to use. So that's where we got, you know, the head, beard, all of that.
Touching all bases.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And my wife actually bought me some. She bought it for me for I don't know if it was Valentine's Day.
You got a red box?
Was it red?
You
It
probably
was
would
red or
have.
green.
Okay, if y'all was gonna say if it was Valentine's, it depends on when she bought it. But for Valentine's Day, you got like the little love coupons and stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I got that one. That's the one I
oh,
got.
okay, yeah. Mhm.
I got
Yep,
them. And she
yep.
tried to strong arm my coupon. So I'm like, nah, man, it's my coupon.
And so with them coupons, you supposed to be able to use them
That-
whenever you want to use them.
Yep.
Right. And that's why she tried to strong arm. I'm like, wait a minute, this ain't coming in your package for your gift.
Right,
You ain't taking my
right.
coupon. That's what's
Yeah.
up. But nah, I like it, man. And I'm definitely, I don't know if I use my coupons yet. I might use one of them real soon. But
She might be right. Redeem,
I think
get
I
you
might.
redeem one.
I think I
Yeah,
might
so we
pull one out
definitely
tonight.
wanted to make sure I did that too, like for women being able to take care of their men, like making sure that you all have quality products and to love on y'all.
Right.
And be able to let that be a way to show appreciation. So that's why, you know, for Valentine's Day, I did that. Like, give them something nice. Like, they deserve Valentine's Day gifts too. It's
Right.
not all about that. And we're going to do the same thing for Father's Day. Make sure we come up with some nice things for you all to be able to get for Father's Day as well.
Right. No, that's what's up. It's dope. I appreciate it. And what I found, I used to use Dr. Bronner's. I still use it sometimes, but what I found is when I used it, it gave me like that same kind of like medicinal, you know what I'm saying? Like real clean, like feel. Like it felt like it was going underneath my scalp a little bit. Like you see what I'm saying? Like really getting into the core roots of, of the hair and getting into it, and it felt good and smelled good. So I'm like, that's what's up, man. So I definitely appreciate it.
No problem. Glad you like it.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
ma'am. So like as far as the King's Care brand, are you gonna stick with just the like just the shampoo and the oil and all that, or you planning on like kind of like taking it to another level, maybe like skincare and you know what I'm saying, like or
Yeah,
adding more to it?
so
flirting with it.
yeah, we've been kind of playing with it. Actually, I have some samples in it that I keep forgetting to kind of test out for like even with bald men, because there are still men like one of our good friends, Marlon. This man don't have no hair, but he still buy King's Care because he still washes his head.
Right.
So maybe like a scrub for the scalp, and definitely being able to cleanse your skin. You know, maybe like a body butter or something. But you know, we'll ease those in as we go. We could make that a part of the 5-year goal.
Right. That's what's up. That's dope. Yeah, I know she'll probably be buying me something for the scam because she said I don't lube up properly, but it's all good. It's all good. I'll be like, we ain't going nowhere. It ain't a special occasion. I ain't doing. I'm waking up and I'm gonna get out of there, man. But whatever.
Yeah, we do it. We got pants on. Ain't no lotion.
Thank you. I knew I wasn't the only one.
He kind of cap it because he put more lotion on. I'm more like that. You be putting on your little weak behind lotion.
No, that's because your feet be ashy. That's what I be talking about. Your feet be ashy.
Oh man, look, you be getting on me all the time about being ashy, but I don't care. I'm like, hey, it don't stop no show, man. We still gonna get it popping.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what's up. But so now with the panel discussion, like you're working on a King's Care or like a appreciation for Black men in terms of showing appreciation for Black men, or women to show appreciation for their Black men. And I know everything hasn't been put in concrete and in stone yet, but can you kind of share with the listeners like what the whole inspiration and the concept behind this particular event that you have coming up. What, next month? I believe it is, right?
Yes, it is. It's next month. Says next June 8th, which is a Thursday evening. We are calling it Cognac and Conversations, Empower Men.
Hmm.
And it's just something that I wanted to be able to do because I mean it is the month of Father's Day. And apparently a lot of fathers don't feel appreciated. And I mean, we can look at the news. The news or commercials and all of that stuff. Like we see what happens for Mother's Day and we can see what happens for Father's Day.
Right.
Personally, why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just listening.
Personally, I feel like in my house, Father's Day is a big deal. It always is. I know that my husband is an amazing husband and father. But a lot of men do feel like it kind of is overshadowed. Nobody really celebrates it as much. So I
Right.
wanted to do an Empower Men event so that you all can come together, talk, have some good conversations. Another part of King's Care is so that it's to help men to engage in self-care, which can also be like helping with your mental health.
Right.
Because y'all Black men carry so much all day to where that's probably why you just like, I'm gonna use whatever on my head. I don't really look out for myself. So trying to make sure that Black men look out for themselves, but also having safe spaces to be able to have these different conversations because some men might not even have other men whose opinions they value as much, or just a place to be able to talk and see that you're not the only person that's going through stuff. So
Right.
I want to be able to do that, and it's going to be celebrating King's Care 1 year anniversary. So now I feel like that's something I'm gonna do every year for our anniversary time. It'll be around Father's Day, just something to show the appreciation for you guys.
But I just
Listen, June is just a month, but it's a month of love because that's if I don't celebrate nothing else, I celebrate birthdays. I love Mother's Day and Father's Day, so
that's
it's
really
cool.
all we celebrate is
Yeah.
birthdays. For real.
Same with me. Same with me. My
We
family
different.
different, boy, for real. That's what's up. But nah, I wanted to what you saying about the whole inspiration behind the panel.
Mhm.
You talk about mental health. There was a few things when we were breaking down off air. There was a few ideas I had, just things that kind of caught my attention based off of what you described with the whole I would say the whole inspiration for the event. And
Mhm.
I'm glad that you talked about mental health because that's something that I feel like when you talk about Black men, you talk about us not wanting to or not maybe addressing certain things. One of the biggest things that I've been focusing on since like 2016 is my mental health because I know I've dealt with a lot of things that growing up we don't know all the trauma that we are we're dealing with subconsciously, whether we know it consciously or subconsciously. I think a lot of us don't realize it. So for me personally, it took for me going on a healing journey for me to realize like what were some of the root causes of some of the trauma or some of the things that I battled with my mental health. And what I found was that it was a lot of stuff that stemmed from my childhood. So then when I kind of went back in time and when I wrote my first book, Tips, for me it was almost like a whole awakening because I didn't think about it. A lot of the things that I wrote about I didn't think about on a regular day-to-day basis because it just was buried deep down in my subconscious mind. But as I was writing, I'm like, wow, so now this makes sense. So I used to get in a lot of fights when I was young because I always had a chip on my shoulder, and it was like I didn't realize why I was so quick to fight until I started writing about all the trauma and all the things I felt like that led up to my mentality of what made me trigger, like what triggered me or what made me think the way I did. And so
Right.
when I started looking back at that, it just made a lot of sense that damn, if I would have had somebody in my life who kind of could have put me in the right direction or sent me to get help or see a therapist or whatever, a lot of different things I feel like that I let send me over the cliff or trigger me to make me get violent or get aggressive. I feel like I probably could have been better equipped with the tools to kind of scale that back and be able to think a lot more what's the word I'm looking for? Patient. That ain't the right word, but just made me think a lot more reserved and be in control, versus doing things, just pretty much on the spur of the moment. And I think we see a lot of that with our youth. So we see a lot of that in our culture and our community, period. So I think that's something that I commend you for putting together to, be able for us to have a space where we feel comfortable talking about things that are not, that are uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm hoping that and I actually have a therapist that's going to be on the panel as well. so glad that I ran across his Instagram. We went to school together, and he like is working behind the scenes, but I seen him post something and I was like, oh my God, I need you. So I'm so glad that he's gonna be able to be on there to kind of just bring awareness to it and make it not so taboo. I know that it is difficult in that a lot of men don't really like to talk because it hasn't been, I mean, you've heard all your life, don't cry, don't all this stuff. And so now it's that this big mental health awareness is starting to come. I
Right.
know that it can be taboo. So I'm hoping that it definitely opens up a lot of different eyes for
Right.
men.
Nah, we gotta doing what we're doing right now. I feel like it's gonna push forward the initiative to make it acceptable and make us, including myself as men. I know I'm vocal about it because I know for me, I don't have nothing to hide, and I know it don't make me soft. I know, you know what I'm saying, it don't make me any less than any other man. But as a man, I feel like some dudes probably think the same things I think. They probably feel the same way I feel, but they don't feel comfortable with speaking on it. And I feel like that's the only way we're gonna get to a point where we actively and openly can start to heal, you know what I'm saying, and then work on, creating healing for the trauma and work on developing a better mental health space. Because if anything, our young people need it. Like I deal with a lot of parents and I deal with a lot of kids and children in the school system that are struggling, man. It's like, it baffles me how so many of them are quick to speak on suicide. Like they quick to talk about not wanting to be here. And I know, a couple of people personally who lost, young people recently in the last couple of years to that. And it's like, it's something to take serious because we got to try to figure out some type of way to make sure that we're building each other up, and especially building up our children, our young kings up in terms of mental health. Because if we don't, we don't want to have to continue the cycle that's going on now, especially in our communities and, in our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's even talking about me, it's a struggle for me as far as opening up and going to therapy and stuff like that. So she definitely bringing awareness to it, going to seek therapy and stuff like that, and it could be a positive. So it's definitely a good thing to get out and talk about and discuss it.
Absolutely. And this is Mental Health Awareness Month too. I've been
Yes,
trying to share stuff about. Yep, yeah. My wife told me about it. I think last week. Because she worked in the medical field, so she was telling me that. I ain't know it was, but and that's cool. What's the age range for the panel? Is it going to be like adults and children, or is it all adults, or how's that?
Yes, conversations and cognac. So I'm gonna need we're gonna let you grown men handle that.
Right.
I'm gonna let the grown men handle that. But I also would love to be able to do something, and we kind of talked about this again with our friend Marlon, like where he pretty much got some about stopping the gun violence, but pretty much working with underprivileged Black kids to try and see, really trying to get their hands on the troubled ones, the ones that's out here, the shooters. That's really who they want. They won't be able to get in contact with the shooters, but being able to do an intimate event like that. But like the one that we did was at Reagan Park. And so it was cameras there. Miss Diane Hart was like moderating it. And so a lot of those kids didn't want to speak. So I would definitely, we have a lot of men that are in a community like you and Jalem and Barack, just a lot of men that are doing different things. So I would love to be able, and whatever I can give to that, to see y'all be able to do something to where they got the boys together, that would be really dope. Because if you guys, us as millennials, definitely don't want to talk. When you talk about like suicide, it's in their music. The music is depressing.
Yeah.
The music is depressing. It's either they killing each other or they on drugs. It's crazy. The other day I was like, well, do they even like women? Like, I feel like our rap was at least a little nasty. Like they cared about getting the girls or something, baby. They don't even talk about that they music no more.
From the drug users.
Yeah. But especially with the music industry, because that's all created for us to do that anyway. Like they literally create or put out the music that that's going to tear apart the Black community. It's genocidal. You know what I'm saying? And if you think about it, labels, they're not playing no music from like a Nas or, you know what I'm saying, somebody who gonna drop some real knowledge or drop real dope content. They only playing popping mollies, popping perks, hit them with the clip, all that bullshit. Like they're not putting no real music out there on mainstream anyway. And it's like, I think, and even when we're talking, a couple of things I felt like that we need to kind of as a community work on is like self-love, especially with Black men, like learning the power in self-love, like loving ourselves, but then loving each other, because we can't give what we don't have, you know what I'm saying? And that's like with any relationship. I feel like if you don't have the love to give, then you can't give it. But if you don't know how to love yourself, then how you gonna love somebody else? And I think that's something that a lot of us, including myself, I didn't learn that until 35 after going through a divorce. Like, I think that's when I realized I didn't know anything about self-love, because if you don't have that, not only can you not give it to other people, but for me, I feel like you don't have the boundaries of respect of what you're going to accept from people, who you deal with in terms of the relationships that you have with people. If you don't appreciate yourself enough to be like, nah, I ain't dealing with that, and I ain't rocking with you if you can't, love me the way I'm trying to love you. So, and then I found that with us as brothers, I don't feel like we celebrate and support each other the way we should. And I saw all the foolishness going online with the was it Michael B. Jordan and the brother from Creed, with them hugging or whatever, and people
Yeah.
calling them gay and this and that, And I'm just like, regardless if they're gay or not, I don't see anything wrong with a brother showing another brother love. If anything, we need to normalize making it, cool for another brother to show another brother love, because if anybody gonna hold a brother down, it should be another one of us, like being able to do that. So it's a lot of narratives I feel like we need to change, as a culture, as a community, and as a culture.
Yeah. So like that's one of the things I make a point to do is people that I do care about, people I love, I make sure I tell them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I make it a point to do that. And there was points where in my life where I never would, you know what I'm saying, bro, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I would, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say it, you know what I'm saying? I would feel it, you know what I'm saying? But I love you, but I just wouldn't be vocal. And I think that's important, letting the people around you know that you love them and you care about them. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be there for them. I think that's important too in the Black community. I try to do that. I try to do that as much as possible, man. So especially so you never know if somebody going through something, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They down or whatever, and you never know. They might have a smile on their face, but you tell them, you know what I'm saying, bro, I love you, I'm here for you.
Right.
That could change, that shit could change their whole day, you know what I'm saying? So I make sure I tell everybody, especially my family too.
Right. No, that's powerful, because something as small as that might save somebody's life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know, like you said, you don't know what people are going through. So they could have been on the verge of wanting to end it all. You know what I'm saying? And just by you giving them that one, token of love, like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't, you know what I'm saying, go that route. So it's a real thing, like, for real. And then me personally, I know there's another narrative that me and my best friend, we talk about all the time, but I want to personally salute you for being a father who's doing his thing, who's there in his children's life, because of course, like the media would have it to say, we're not there for our children, but statistically and mathematically, we actually there for our children more than a lot of other people from a lot of other cultures. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I feel like we don't get enough of, but we deserve, because I know more brothers now from high school all the way to now that are taking care of their children. Even if they're not with the mother, they're still taking care of their children. I know way more, probably 5-10 times more, that are doing the right thing that aren't doing the right thing. And I believe I saw that start to shift with our generation, with the 80s babies.
Yeah. So is not many people around me that that don't take care of their kids. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even want to be around somebody who is looked at as a deadbeat. So I just really want people around me, good character, good morals, stand on principles. And that comes with being a father and taking care of your responsibilities. So it's not many people around me that I consider a friend or I consider an associate that are deadbeats. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't tolerate it. So I don't expect anybody else to tolerate it. As Black men, we gotta hold our friends accountable to do the things that they're supposed to do. So I think that's really important in the Black community as well. So I don't really have friends around me that are deadbeats. So I don't really, you know what I'm saying? Black men take care of our kids, you know what I'm saying? From my perspective.
Right. No, that's facts. And that's real too.
I
So
love how you say that, because I feel like I always Something I always say is, well, how do all the deadbeats got friends? Like, so y'all are friends with these people? Like, y'all are okay with that? Like,
Right,
it is ridiculous.
right.
So yeah, that's commendable for you. And as I think we kind of talk about that a lot, though. Most of your friends are okay. They might get on my nerves, but you got good guys around you. So for sure.
And that's how it should be, man. What they say, your network determines your net worth. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's definitely good to stay in good company, with solid people for sure. But yeah, so with that, let's talk about vibes, the vibe
Oh,
social movement, and kind of how vibes came about, what it's about, and like what's to come in the near future with the whole movement that is vibe social.
okay, so Vibes is very important in Black Entrepreneur Social. It is an event that I created to bring Black entrepreneurs and consumers together to circulate the Black dollar. It came about because, like I said before, I was in corporate America
Mhm.
and I wanted to be able to, I love the holiday parties. So I noticed that once I became a barber, I won't really have those. Like the barbershop, because I'm from here, but I was living in Jacksonville for some time because the company I was with had moved me up there. So I ended up going to barber school and everything up there. And the guy whose shop I worked at, he had a corporation because he had like 7 barbershops and one actually was here. So when Christmas would come, he would get all his shops together and we would have like a party.
Mhm.
So it was cool. It'd be, I guess it probably 100 of us. So it was cool, but it wasn't still like corporate, like something big and nice. I think last time he did, now I think about it, he did his thing. He kind of rented out a club for us. Like it was a small little lounge, but it was nice. We had a good time.
Mhm.
So I thought about, I was like, well, what if I got all the barbers and beauticians together and they brought their clients? We all had a big party. Now I thought about it, I was like, well, I don't know if barbers and beauticians are gonna want their clients in the same room with other barbers and beauticians. So
Right.
maybe not. Maybe we just make it for entrepreneurs. So my best friend and I were just sitting down, brainstorming, and I just came up with a vibe, and then I broke that acronym down. So the first one was in 2017,
Mhm.
and it was really dope. We had about 10 vendors there, sponsors. It was just really nice. It was at the DJ J Rock, his building that he used to have on 30th in the plaza with Dunn's.
Mhm.
So that was really nice. And it just kind of grew from there. I did one in spring. People just kept asking, like, when's the next one? When's the next one? So this year will be the 8th year. Well, technically 7, but COVID.
Right.
Um, and so, yeah, it's really, really grown. Last year we implemented in the awards show. So now I'm going to be doing an awards where we give Black entrepreneurs awards for the things that they've done in their businesses. Now, last year was like the first year doing it. I'm going to tweak it so much because I see a lot of flaws in what happened.
Mhm.
It's going to be separate from our gala, so it will be 2 different events. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be really, really dope. The one that'll be in December is gonna be a nice, very nice gala. I already got my theme, but I'm not revealing that yet.
Right.
Um,
You want me to
but
tell him?
no,
Oh.
but everybody's gonna love it. I love doing it though, because at the end of, like, this is a passion project for me, which is why I ended up turning it into a nonprofit. So we
Mhm.
are 501c3 certified, so that I'm able to get grant money to be able to help small startup businesses, whether they need capital to help them continue on or just to get started, or funding to take courses or anything like that. They can come to me and apply for that. This year at our gala, though, I will be giving away $1,000 grant to a business owner. I just need to get that application process started and structured correctly. But I just want to be able to help and see us grow, because I feel like we need the resources and being able to plug my community, because I have pretty much a community of about 1,500 people who are connected to Vibes. So to be able to just give them the resources of different programs that they can register with or whatever. I was gonna do that, but that's not my passion. And I don't want to start something and not be able to love it,
Right.
especially because low key, like the resources that I'm gonna find to give to my network, I'm gonna be in some of those same classes, because we need that funding, we need that education, we need all of that for King's Care. So I just kind of want to be able to be a vessel to be able to provide whatever resources and information I can out to our community.
That's dope. No, I love it, man. I wish to God I could have made it last year because I saw it was the Harlem Nights theme, but me and the Queen was
Mhm.
going to New Orleans. We had a trip we had booked to go out of town that weekend, so we wasn't able to make it. But I definitely would have loved to have came, man. I tried to find me a suit like Quick in Harlem Nights.
Oh, I'll just tell you this. Go ahead and say the date is December 3rd this year. So go ahead
Okay.
and you put that in your calendar. Let me make sure I'm saying it because I'm already locked in my building, everything. But I
You
just,
told me December 3rd.
huh?
No, you told me December 3rd.
December 3rd. Yeah, that's my daddy's birthday. So yeah, it's December 3rd.
Put
So
that
you
thing.
go ahead and put that on the calendar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely want to be there because I was like, damn, Harlem Nights one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to fight no Della Reese's in that thing or nothing, but I
Baby,
definitely
and one of the girls showed up. She definitely was giving Della Reese. She was way finer than what
wow.
Della Reese was, but she looked so good. She did a
With that dress.
yeah, Momo with the gold, baby.
Yeah.
She did it. She was so
What's
cute.
up?
Everybody came out and did so good. I was so happy with this year because I'm always like every year it's supposed to be formal and it has like a theme or whatever, but every year there's kind of someone who doesn't abide by the dress code, but everybody came out in their finest. It was so good. And it just felt good to see us dressed up. Like we were out on Bayshore. It was gorgeous.
That's
It
what's
was
up. Black excellence, man. And kind of two quick questions I had while you was talking about the origin or inception of vibes is one, if I don't recall, or if I recall, it was inspired by like what, Black Wall Street, right?
Well, so it wasn't inspired by Black Wall Street, but I definitely do incorporate that in some of the events. So last year was an ode to not last year, 2021 was an ode to Black Wall Street. So
Okay.
yes, so definitely I love that. Of course, I would love to if I had to set like maybe a 10-year goal, I would love to be able to come together once we've all started forming this big ecosystem for us to kind of collectively go and do something like that. Because there's so many of us here in Tampa
Right.
where we should be able to do something like that. We just have to make sure that we're connecting with the people who are really trying to move and not just talking.
Right. Right. And that's facts. I was just talking to brother Ricky about that last week about something similar. In terms of like competition, I mean collaboration over competition, accordance with each other. But I feel like we're working on that, even like with conversations like this now, to kind of get rid of that mentality and create that unified front so that way we all can kind of force through and make things make shift happen. And
Absolutely.
so what does the acronym for VIBE stand for? Because I know you said it was an acronym. So what is
Yes,
that?
so it's very important Black entrepreneur social.
That's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. I like that. That's what's up. So as far as the vibes, the whole movement of vibes, is it just the one event that you have at the end of the year, or do you do multiple events throughout the year and under the vibe umbrella?
So
It's normally 2 events.
it's normally 2 events. So like last year we did the spring event and we did the winter event. That I am not competing with the other people who are doing big stuff in the community. So I can always have my people going to that.
Now you said you have a whole community that's what, 1,500 deep? How can people tap into the community to get connected with being a part of that community?
So yes, definitely going to Vibe Social _ on Instagram. Click the link in the bio there. Definitely.
Gotcha.
You'll be able to get subscribe to the email list for sure.
Now, I'm trying to think because I know the time is winding, but is there any other projects, any other products, goods, or services you want to highlight before we like wrap it up?
Definitely, if you need a haircut, you could come out to Fadeology Barbershop. Come out and see me. You could follow me at LaBella Barber. I definitely do retwists now, so I'm so excited about that. I've incorporated that. I fought that for so long. People would come in and ask, "Do I do retwists?" And I'm like, just because I'm a girl, don't mean I do that. But that was crazy. My whole mind has shifted on that because I could be a one-stop shop. So I definitely can do that, and you come through and holler at us. I do have some other things that I think that we should know about. So let's see, for Juneteenth, Rock the Block is having the Juneteenth festival at the Raymond James Stadium on June 17th. So yes, so King's Care is a vendor out there, and it is going to be dope. We did it last year. It's in the parking lot
And I
at the
just
Raymond James
I
Stadium.
want to say like that is amazing what they put on. Like they got like the big stage, it's a huge area. They had the mayor out there last year. It was a lot of people that came out, man. They had the news people out there, they had everybody out there, man. It was a great event. So definitely wanna shout out Balaji and
Yeah.
I forgot the dude's name.
I forgot his name too.
But shout out to the Rock the Block team
Mhm.
and just want to help them, man, grow that, man, because they good people, man. They doing something positive in the community.
Yeah.
So shout out to them, man. Y'all make sure y'all come check it out.
Yes, definitely that. And then one more is the Fight Right Foundation, which is my friend's mug. I am sipping my tea out of Bondolin Right. I've mentioned her husband Marlon a couple times. But she has the Fight Right Foundation, which is basically a foundation that supports everything with women with cancer, specifically breast cancer. And she has her gala, which is V-Day. It is Met Gala theme, off pink. Don't have to wear pink though, but it's a Met Gala theme. It's at a private location, but it's gonna be very dope, and I believe it's June 24th. So that's really, really good. There's so many things. I'm so proud of Tampa. Like we are growing so much. So just to hear that we're about to have a Met Gala and it's going to be for a nonprofit for breast cancer, that is gonna be so dope. So I'm for sure looking forward to that.
Because like I said, that's what the whole vision behind this this entire platform and project is about. Just empowering us, you know, and ultimately my goal is 2 years from now, 3 years from now, I want the channel to have so much content on there that whatever business or industry that you're thinking about going to or starting, there's something all here that can kind of, you know what I'm saying, some seeds that could be planted from there.
Yeah, that's dope.
So yeah, so they gonna be the first Black owned clinic in Tampa. So it's gonna be basically a clinic, like you know, you see the health clinics around here, like
Clinic and
the
all them
family
little TGH clinics and all that stuff.
health, the little family health clinics.
Right.
It's gonna be just like that, like, but it's Black owned, just a hub.
That's dope.
It's hub. Yep.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that, man. We definitely need it. We need it on a whole nother level too. That's what's up. But yeah, I definitely appreciate it, man. I appreciate y'all taking the time out, you know, to come and chop it up and to build and to spit the prolific perspectives that y'all was dropping tonight, man. And and just building, and working towards building, bigger and stronger families, bigger and stronger communities, and bigger and stronger, culture, melanated culture. So I definitely appreciate y'all taking the time to be a part of the show. And I look forward to, doing whatever I can to kind of help facilitate in any way I can, the movement that y'all, already got going on and established that's gaining momentum and going in the right direction and just build, man, kind of come together and form like Voltron.
Yeah, nice. Okay. That's what's up. I love it so much.
Yeah,
sure. I appreciate y'all, man.
You want to say hi to the people, Trent?
Hello, how you doing? That's what's up. That's what's up. I see you over here conducting business with mommy and daddy, huh? Yeah, you gonna be a boss when you grow up too? That's what's up. We need more bosses. That's what's up, man. So I appreciate y'all. So this has been another episode of the Prolific Perspective Podcast. I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. As always, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And Mr. and Mrs. Waldo and Tareva, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all taking the time to come chop it up and build on the podcast.
No problem. Thank you for having
us, man.
No problem. So I'll definitely holler at y'all and I'll be in touch soon.
All right.
Y'all take care. All right.